It's funny. Always here for your entertainment.
Just waiting.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to marketing class. I'm Jess.
And I'm Julie.
And together we're socially inclined.
Sometimes socially awkward. Sorry.
Like
Waiting for the recorder every time we're socially awkward.
Yes.
Anyway.
What were we even talking about? We stopped to hit record because it was getting good, and then now I forgot where we were.
Exactly. So today's topic is
what to post when you don't know what to post.
Exactly. And I have some
prefaces. There's no such thing. There's always content.
Oh, for sure. You just need to get out of your own head and sort of think about it from, this is going to piggyback on what we talked about last week, which was knowing your client or customer avatar, whatever you want to call it, knowing them and actually speaking to what they're looking for. So, and it's always because what's in it for them. So your content also needs to be structured around that. Okay. So we've also been talking about passion projects, and we all know that Jessica has released Jess a Heart, and I suggested right before we record to go check out her social media and see that is what most businesses, I don't care, personal brands, whatever you are, is missing in like doing social right. And the reason is because it's hard. You don't see me out there. You don't see me out there doing it, right? But I'm making a pact. I'm going to. I've got, never mind. I was going to say, even for socially inclined, right? So that is what connects with people. Yes. We know that's what connects with people. I have so many talking points, and all I'd have to do is get on, turn on the camera, and speak, right? Speak. What am I speaking about? I'm speaking about what matters to them, the pain points they have, right? Jessica is a little bit different.
Look at that. I love it. The HD look.
Yeah. So Jessica.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say is a little bit different because hers is entertainment and she's sharing her story, and that part is not different, right? So that
it's everyone not easy.
Yeah, everyone should be sharing their story about why, if you're in the tea business, tea is important, right? Why did you land there? People love to hear the backstory. People love to hear how you got there. The show, how it's made, is like
super popular for a reason.
Exactly, because people want to know the behind the scenes, how you got there. Not everyone, even though we're all sort of surrounded by entrepreneurs, we're sorry, buddy. My breakfast bar. He's one. Everyone is we're all around entrepreneurs, right? And it's hard, but we take for granted all of the people that are not, and they want to see what it is that we're doing. So, and that's what we need to create content around.
So today's theme, if you will, is what to post when you don't know what to post, because we hear this all the time. It's like, well, yeah, I need to be consistent on social media, but I have no idea what to post, or I've had a business for a while and I'm out of content ideas. And the reality is that nobody's really out of content ideas. What happens, and I was talking about a phenomenon earlier with small business owners or brand builders. Maybe you don't think of yourself as a business because, like with my Jess a Heart stuff, I don't really think about that as a business, but it's certainly a brand that I'm trying to promote to get exposure for these songs that I want.
It is a business. So, and she needs to treat it. Everyone.
Yeah. And I have been, but
she is.
It's different than the business that we run here
selling
at Socially Inclined.
Yeah.
Or selling tea.
Or flip-flops or.
Yes. So the phenomenon that we all experience when we say, I don't have any content ideas or I don't know what to post is a problem with being too close to your business and too up into your own head to kind of back out and think about what your ideal client needs to hear. And yes, it piggybacks on what we talked about last week, where we talked about how to get in the head of your ideal client. But that all comes back to kind of separating yourself from that, from your business, and thinking about your business in a couple different ways and how you can educate people on what you do, how you can connect with them, how you can engage with them. And the core of that really starts with understanding who your people are. So, for socially inclined, we have a lot to teach. We have a lot to educate on, and I think we fall a little short on doing that. We're always super transparent. We run a full service digital marketing, what do you call it? Business?
Agency.
Agency, thank you. Yeah, in the background, so at the end of the day, we have very little time and resources left to teach the way we should, and I think that reflects in the numbers of that side of the business. For something like the entertainment side of things with Jess Hart, I don't really educate people on things. I'm sharing my story more than anything, and I think that comes with the big second thing that you can do, which is connect with people. And I think some of what I'm doing is starting to connect. I built it from scratch. I thought long and hard about whether or not I was just going to use my long established Jessica Hetherington social medias and convert them into Jessa Hart. And I decided that no, this needed to be a standalone thing. So I literally started from zero profile. Like, it was a new profile as of April. There are new profiles all the way across the board on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So, um, you know, so there's a couple of buckets. That's the thing, is it all kind of comes back to content buckets, which is what I was kind of getting to earlier. So last week we talked about how to get into the headspace of your ideal client, how to think like them. And the point of that is to be able to tailor your content buckets. So what do they need to learn? What do they need to hear to connect to? How can you prove your success to them? What testimonials, what little snippets can you say to them that you've gotten as feedback in the past? And then how can you use that to invite them and engage them into your space?
Awesome. And if you've known me for any length of time, I have to know the why it is the way it is, and so that I can do the thing, right? So, and the why is number one, but here it is. People do business with people, right? I see you say that all the time. People do business with people. Why? Because there are, like, think about flip-flops. Think about Kathleen. How many shoe stores are there out there, right? So if you are just competing against another shoe store, there are thousands online, right? So you're going to Google search and you're just going to find a price. It's going to be price-based. Put yourself out there as the face of your business. Put your story out there and connect with people. People will pay more if they know, like, and trust you. They will buy from you if they know, like, and trust you. So, it doesn't matter if you're a commodity type product or a service-based product. Like, we have people, everyone that listens is in a different niche, but it is true no matter what niche you are in, if you will be the face of your business. And that's hard. So it is hard, but it makes a huge difference. And then what we were talking about right before we hit record that I don't want to forget is the putting yourself out there is hard. Okay. It just is. It is. And then when you look at it and you're like, oh, so I saw someone talking about it, and it's the mountain of cringe. It is everyone. I don't care who it is. You can look at them, even the people that teach it, they started somewhere and it was cringe. It doesn't matter. They felt it. They pushed through. What made them successful? They continued, right? It is so much easier to, number one, not start.
Mm-hmm.
Or
spent 20 years doing that
and be like, no, sorry, that is not happening. Okay. But authenticity sells. So pushing through and doing the thing proves you have grit. People are naturally attracted to that. They are attracted to your story. So
yes,
over the mountain of cringe.
So Savita just said something that's so true. Being broke is hard. You pick your hard. So, putting yourself out there is hard. Starting a new business is hard. Um, Getting out of your comfort zone is by definition hard, but then so is being broke. And I'll tell you that sitting with wanting to do something and regretting not doing something for decades upon decades is also hard.
Yeah,
So,
pick your hard.
pick your hard. And that's kind of what you're here when you show up, for your business, whether it's in this marketing class to learn something or whether it's to sit down and make a post that is hard to conceptualize, is hard to capture, and then it's hard to hit post on. You're ultimately picking your hard. And I hope you'll pick the hard that you'll be glad you picked later down the road. So Heather also said something that I just want to talk about real quick. She has 15 graphics ready to post, but they're all in the same theme. She needs to create educational pieces, fun, and other stuff that's not just focused on tea blends. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So those 5 buckets that I was talking about earlier with the, you said those 15 posts, I think I understood them, that they're all about tea blends. So figuring out something educational, we'll do a little exercise here in a minute where we'll give you some ideas for your business based on who's here live. But, educating, connecting with them, proving your value. Like, again, I love the tea business example, because there's so much you can do there with testimonials, with people talking about you. Hopefully you have some UGC, or you can user generated content, or you have some reviews that you can rely on there. But then also, you're a e-commerce store, so offering a coupon or something free with a certain dollar amount purchase, those things are also all content. And this is, I'm so glad that you said this, because it's a perfect example. um, don't discount the idea of just a invitation to come shop or a very small discount being a good piece of social media content for you, because that certainly could go in those 15 posts. And my advice to you would be to put those 15 posts in, schedule them so that they happen
Once
maybe
a week.
once a week,
Once a
maybe
week,
2 a
and
week.
then let's fill in with something else. And let
Yes,
me
because
jump
once
in
you do
because
that, you'll fill in. You will find the motivation because
you
you
don't
did
want
the
those
thing.
same things posting over. So it's
Yes.
almost like I'm always about a brain hack, and like, how can I force myself to do something, and have a timeline? Okay, that's it. So that's perfect. Savita, I smiled so big. She was like, oh, she could have the spill the tea segment. Perfect. Yes. So
Love that.
and it is hard, but part of all of ours. So when I'm first talking about, of course, I'm talking about this type of content where you are speaking to the camera. That is not to say that everything that you put out has to be like that. I'm not suggesting that. So I'm suggesting that you've got the 15, and now we need to have other things. Jessica gave you tons of options of what those are. Batch, because it's hard as an entrepreneur. So batch, find one more and batch those, and then you'll have 2 posts a week, right? And then muster some strength to get yourself on camera. You can go to any AI, tell them about yourself, why, get it to ask questions and give you talking points. And just so Jessica can speak. Man, I got so many things to talk about. Sorry.
I
So
know. I knew
here's
you'd
what
love this
I'm
topic
going to
today.
do. Sorry. Here's what I'm going to do. And I think it would work for anyone here. If you set up a camera, right? You do not so here's the problem for me is thinking, oh my God, I gotta get it up. Like on the 10th take, dude, Jessica knows how terrible I
I
am
wouldn't call it
on
terrible, but
on
that's
the
also
spot, like
me.
on the spot. Okay. So don't be on the spot. Don't do that. Right. So set yourself up, let that camera roll, set a time. If it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, I don't care how long it is. Do not touch the camera. You have your talking points. You continue to talk. You talk about each little thing. Get comfortable. The longer it goes into that video, the more comfortable you are. You forget what you're doing. You're getting more passionate about what you're doing. So this is how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to take that. And I suggested I think it was last week, about Opus Clip and taking that long format video, which is what this is. This is a long format video, and clipping it out into segments. So it's going to actually realize, so you can clip it up yourself, right? If you want to, but Opus Clip will actually clip it, put captions
Very
on it,
quickly.
all of these things that will help you. I don't know what the max length is on Opus Clip. So it brings out talking points, right? So that could be one of your things, is the talking point, the 15-second reel that comes from it. But also, if you talk about something for 2 minutes, you can clip it down and it can be your long format reel. Okay. That sounds scary. I know. It does. It does.
Yeah, it's
However,
actually very easy. I think we should do
a
a
class on it.
segment,
Mhm.
because that is it's very helpful, and we've been saying for years now that short format video is where it's at, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
It's not, you need anything but
So
stronger. And
one
the
so
messier, the better with those. Like, the
Mhm.
people just open up TikTok, Facebook, I don't care what you open up, shorts, and watch. If you watch through 20, you will notice the ones you are drawn to are the people that are on the street, in the woods, I don't care where they are, and they're walking and talking, or they're sitting at their thing, and they're like, I got to ask this question all the time. Whatever, come up with a hook, get ChatGPT. So that is sort of important for this little process, is starting with the hook. But again, I still stand behind my speak through the thing, right?
Yeah. So, I mentioned earlier that I started my passion project with zero, what do you call it? Zero entry profiles. Like everything was zero. No subscribers, no pictures, no nothing. I went to that platform with an email and I started a new profile. And I then went about making the content in the way that Julie is talking. And one of the best things that I think you can do is create a long video and break it down. Because one thing I have proved to myself over and over and over again is that I do not have the time or the how do you say, the stick with itness
Bandwidth.
to
Oh yeah.
I don't have the time or the endurance to edit small videos. I started doing that in the beginning where I was like, okay, I have this one talking point. I'm going to make a small video about it and I'm going to try to keep it under 30 seconds. I can't do that. And I
That's
know
so
a
much
lot of people
pressure. That's yes.
I know a lot of people can't do that. So what she is suggesting, and I 100% agree. And after we finish with this, I want to talk about specifically some talking points for you guys specifically in your business. But Heather, you have a tea store. Just set up your phone. I don't care if it's iPhone or Android. And either way, you can do
Yeah,
it either
it
way because it
will.
will clip it either
Yes.
way. If you do it landscape, I would stay back to where your body is maybe like 30% of the screen so that if they pull it down for 9
You're
by
not right here.
16, when they pull it down by 9 by 16, you're not like this.
Right.
But
Exactly.
anyway, so to make that video and just stand there like she mentioned, and we'll talk about your ideas next, but what you're going to do is get like 10 talking points. Maybe you want to start by what you do, who you are and what you do, and your background and how you run your business with your husband. I know a little bit. I remember where you're from and all of that. And then you want to talk about, go through those content buckets, have a few points that you can talk about for tea and educate them on those points, the benefits of tea. Why you sourcing tea from your source is better than just going and buying it from Walmart. Connect with them about how being a mom and running a business and being a mom and pop. Talk about how tariffs were hard for you, but you're determined and
That's
and all of
true.
this. And then maybe even read a few testimonials, and it does not have to flow. That's the most important thing, because I know what I said probably just then was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna throw up just thinking about having to do all of that. It doesn't have to flow. It can be so clunky, it can be so awful. But then when you run it through these clipping down softwares, it will just grab the important parts.
The
And
hook, the part.
that's key.
Yes. And
That's key.
I absolutely, and Heather, like, we need to invite people on and like have a, like, where you're on camera, like everyone is on camera, we can talk so we can know your personality. But I don't know your personality. However, Savita's idea, I can visually see this. You're standing in front of your little counter and you walk up and you shake out some tea leaves on the counter and it's like, hi, I'm
Here's
Heather.
the
I'm here to
tea.
spill the tea, and then you roll right into today. Today we're going to talk about this recipe, or today we're going to talk about whatever. And the tea spill needs to be different. So every one of your things doesn't look, but that would be so easy and so cute and such a great hook,
Yeah.
and it doesn't, and it can be, so we can do everyone else's niches so well, right? Like I could come and spill some tea on your thing. Like I could be an expert of tea and I don't know.
You can come sing in the studio with me.
No, thank you. I'll let you sing one of my songs. How about that?
Yeah, Heather says I don't have time to edit videos. So the good thing is you don't have to have time anymore.
That's right.
They can all be done for you in one click. You just need the right tools.
Not our software.
Yeah.
This is not. And so we are here to let you know what works in this industry.
Mhm.
We know we do not have time. This program, and again, we're not even an affiliate for it. I might see if I can be an affiliate for it, but it is an amazing. I used it for another client to create reels from because he had amazing long format content and it made some of the best hooks, and it'll even score those and tell you how well it should work. But you know what? If it clips up his content, let's say his content was 5 minutes and it came up with 5 to 10 reels out of that.
Yep.
He's a hooky guy. Like he's funny and whatever, but still, even if it came with you at 3 and they were even remotely good, which they're going to be because you've got 3 pieces of content right there just from sitting there.
So let's move on. Let's change direction. Let's talk about some specific ideas for the people who are here. So far, Savita and I think there's a couple people talking. Chris Ann and T, Pure Blend Heather T, Heather Pure Blend T are here. So we can talk about examples all day, and we're going to talk about a few. But at the end of the day, you should not be sitting here working harder when there are beautiful tools like ChatGPT or Gemini out there to help you brainstorm ideas. So we're not like the biggest proponents of just blanket using AI for everything. But when it comes to shortcutting ideas, it is fantastic. So
can I insert right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So there now you need to edit, like if you're going to, so we're talking right now a little bit more about on camera stuff. Even on camera, you can see that a lot of AI sounds the same, and you hear this X, Y, Z, if X, then Y, whatever, not this, not this, not this. I want to say we love AI, right? We love AI, but be careful. Use it for talking points. Don't take a block of a caption this long and not edit it down because you're going to sound like everyone else. The purpose of this is to have some authenticity. So, and look for those. We need to have a session on what not to do when it's writing for you. It can write for you. You just need to edit it or preface it with stop doing this. Right?
Yeah.
Stop.
Sorry, I was just reading. It's kind of heartbreaking. So she said, "My kids are so against AI. If I use AI, I can't let them know." Are you kidding me? Because
there is
to me, and I understand the propensity to be against it, but I feel like for those who are still against AI, it's because either a lack of understanding or the assumption of how you're using it. So, and then at the end of the day, like, are your kids running your business or paying your bills? Like AI can do such beautiful things on shortcutting your tasks, especially when your human resources are already taxed.
Exactly.
So,
and there are ethical ways to use. So what most
when AI's fake
are behind is the AI, the generation. You've been using, if you've used Grammarly, which has been around for years, you've used AI. They've used AI in school. Google, if you go Google anything now, they're using AI every single day.
Yeah.
Siri is AI. They've used it. So
It
you can,
has been.
yeah, tell them to stop using Siri. You know, you can tell them there's such division there, and it is not a clear cut thing. So just
Yeah.
tell them, turn your phone in because it's got
Yeah.
AI all in it. If you're using a filter, that's AI. Don't use a filter
Mhm.
when you take a picture. Don't I could have a whole session on this. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Heather
Everybody's
admits
kids
that
are
her
weird,
kids are
but
weird, but
but you also have a business to run, and number one, Opus Clip isn't exactly so the vilification is about generative
cheating.
AI and the fact that it was built on other people's voice and other people's art. Okay, so that's where they're coming from. That's what they've been taught. That's
Mhm.
and the implication on environment. Okay. But other than that, it is here. It's been here. It's going to be here. So
And
Opus
it's gonna
AI, Opus
stay.
Clip is more of a tool that is going to listen and it's going to cut it up and it doesn't look like AI and you didn't write with AI. It's not writing anything for you. So
No,
anyway,
it's taking
you can still use it.
it's using AI um
Yes. Thank you,
to
Sweet.
hone in your own work. And I think that that is a very, very smart use of AI. But regardless of that, when we talk about going to Chat GPT for ideas, we're talking about going to Chat GPT for ideas. And you did come back with a comment that I want to make sure gets noted. Her kids are against AI because so many people are cheating on papers in school with AI. Well, again, that goes back to what I said. Uh, Most people disagree with AI because they either have a preconceived notion about it, people are cheating with it, or they don't understand how powerful it could be. Like mom uses an AI tool in her business and she 10x sales and can now spend more time with us.
Right.
That is a profoundly positive use of AI. So
Exactly.
I would
And
strongly
there's
encourage you to use AI for generating those ideas so that you can create those videos yourself. You're not going to use AI to deep fake you standing in a beautiful tea shop saying things you didn't say. You're going to make the video yourself. It's going to be you, your image, and your voice, you talking. And then you use a tool that is powered by AI to hone in on the strongest points of that long video that you didn't break your back trying to make. And it's going to cut out all the stuff that's not useful and it's going to show you the stuff that's
the
useful.
ums and the ahs. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
also, just as a clear point, AI is not going anywhere. We have data centers. We have data centers that are coming to farmland where we are from too. It is not going away. If Microsoft is building it into Excel, and everyone, it is in everything. It is in QuickBooks. It is in everything. It is not going away. Them saying don't use it is like saying don't use the running water in the house. Go
Yeah.
to the outhouse,
Yeah.
okay? Because it's not going anywhere. So I think education around AI is super important. And I agree with the environmental impacts, but also
We have to push forward in
legislation.
order to be able to fix that.
Exactly. It's not going anywhere.
It's just like nuclear energy. Like everyone wanted to leave on it when there was a catastrophe. And could you imagine how many people would not have power right now if they had not pushed through? My dad is a nuclear engineer, so you can give me a bias skew if you want, but could you imagine if Chernobyl happened and then all of a sudden we just abandoned nuclear energy? There would be half tons of people in the world that had no power. But
Right.
instead they pushed through and figured out how to make it safer, how to keep these accidents from happening. It's kind of the same thing in my mind. Is yes, there are showing some environmental impacts, but I feel that we need to figure out how to mitigate those
Right.
because it is a very useful tool that can be very helpful. And she just said she does use it some. So that's
Yeah.
good. And we promote, just want to be clear, like we promote the smart use of it,
Right.
not the cheating use of it or taking someone else's work to be your own use of it. So we got way off
Oh,
into
sorry, but I
defending
sort of
AI
yes.
world there. So let's back it up and let's give some examples of what to post when you don't know what to post. So, I think we gave some good ideas for Heather. Heather, you mentioned that you have the blends, those 15 posts already lined up. What we want you to do is now get 10 or 15 educational points about tea. You can
The
look up
health implications without
and
getting
and
into
don't
FDA
overthink it. Don't feel like anything is too basic or too
Right.
elemental. Even the most simplistic one, it's got phytonutrients in it. I don't even know what the most basic tea benefit is.
Right.
I know that green
Just
tea
look
is
at the
very
antioxidant
antioxidant
tea,
rich.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
But get those points, and then you've got 15 of those, and then get 15 reviews. And if you don't have 15 reviews, say you only have 7, I'm sure you have more than that. But if you don't have 15 reviews, then you can
question.
mix in some
Question.
other, yeah.
Yeah. What's your like an ask me anything? And it doesn't have to be again you talking on thing. It can be a static post. What is the, what do you not, I don't know. What do you need to know about this? Say it different than that though. But
Yes.
you
That's
get it
where using AI to brainstorm can really help you.
for sure. And yeah, so Savita says, why do people drink Earl Grey?
Because
Exactly.
bergamot is the shiz. I love Earl Grey tea. I love it. It reminds me of my grandfather. He drank it all the time, but I
And
love
listen to
bergamot.
that. Heather, there's a little bit of content right there. It's that, I mean, right there. Why do people why that, whatever? The marketing aspect of that is like
Mhm.
that, the nostalgia of it, whatever. Pick up on something and go with that. And then I have a huge point really quick that I've been trying to figure out when to put it in is at the beginning, I said, go and look on TikTok, wherever in your niche and see what people are doing right. Right. So if they're especially the talking videos, notice one thing. And the one thing you're going to notice is they say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. We have a customer, we talk about him all the time, and he is the worst about, well, I've used that, I can't use it again. Whatever. No, say it, say it, say it. You can say the same question 10 different ways, 10 different times. You got 100 pieces of content, right? So anyway,
Yep.
so do
So
not feel like you're beating a dead horse or driving it into the ground. You would be possibly if you had 7 posts in a week and they all were on the same topic, or just the same hook to start, but you are selling the same thing over and over and over. So
yes. So behind the scenes, that's a great one.
yeah,
And
mixing, packing.
don't discount what behind the scenes means either. I mean, it can literally be a quick video of you working the register, or of you,
B-roll.
what is it called, zoning, where you're making everything look pretty on the shelves, or whatever it is. Literally anything and everything can count as a behind the scenes.
And you need to do that. And I don't care who you are. We're talking about Heather right now, but anyone that has any kind of staging, like whatever, if you can be on camera
No
doing
register. Oh,
anything.
great.
Yeah. So
You have a
have
clover or
spare, you
something.
have
How do you show
spare.
yourself?
But get your kids to help with B-roll. Someone, follow you around and show you in the store. No talking, no whatever. You're just doing the thing natural. Again, that's a huge thing that you can use and clip out and put in these other videos. So a 10-second, you see them all the time on TikTok. They're not even talking. They've got music. You're doing your display, right? It's got music over the top of it, and it's got one simple question, and it says, read the caption. They have to watch that video 4 times to get to see the whole caption. You're not talking, you're not whatever, but that is short form video, and it's huge. So
Yeah. Another thing you do is, here's why I carry XYZ. Like, here's why I carry Earl Grey. Here's why I carry matcha. Here's why I carry my orange spice mix, or whatever it is. So those were some good examples for tea. Do we want to talk about Savita or Christmas planning with Chris-Ann?
Savita does a good job. She goes live all the time. And I
While
think
she's
she said
walking on TikTok.
earlier that she the sound didn't come on or whatever. She actually could use part of that as B-roll. right? So
Mhm.
you can use anything that did have sound and drop the sound out. And so there could be videos that you are repurposing, right? There you go,
Yeah.
Savita. What cookies go best with tea?
One thing, so yeah, these ideas can be repurposed for you really easy. A common mistake I see people mistake or I see people make is, I mean, people make mistakes with money
Mm-hmm.
hourly.
For sure.
A
I'm
behind the
trying to do it
scenes, you know,
often.
yeah, a behind the scenes may not seem as relevant for you, but it totally is. Like you sitting down working on something, whatever it is, a getting ready to go live, even just doing your makeup. Like I used to do behind like get ready with me's. Those are relevant for people who don't necessarily have a storefront. Um, you know, any of your financial content, you could do a here's why I created this and talk about how, um, you know, you want your husband or you want your money to work harder than your husband ever did or
There you go.
or
I was
whatever, you
saying,
know,
good
that's why
hook.
you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a
just what
great hook.
Jessica said right
Use
there,
it.
like those very unexpected hooks,
Mhm.
because all these social platforms are a very crowded place. But if you can get them to see the first one and stay long enough, they're going to see your next video. And if you can get them to stay long enough, so the hook is super, super important on these. So, but cringe, we're just trying to get you going first, right? All of us going and getting over the hump of actually doing the thing. And then we can refine it. But yeah, so Savita, man, she's got so much good. She could just be
Yeah,
talking.
what's your biggest challenge with money? 10 ways to save $1,000 in the next 2 months, or, you know, if you're struggling with
And
this, then
she
this
can
is
even
what you
get
need to do.
technical, like, why in insurance. I think you do some stuff with like life insurance, like the difference in term and whole, and like why you want that investment type thing, and like just that really practical. Think you can't save. I'm here to
Think
tell you.
we can
Yeah.
do this. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily, so here's your thing, it's not necessarily having to cut out your Starbucks run, right? So that's a hook, right? So it's something that's the unexpected. Everybody says cut your coffee out, right? Okay, well,
Mhm.
do something that says, I'm going to tell you something different. You don't have to cut your Starbucks out if you don't want to, but maybe when you get started, you're going to realize I need to cut my Starbucks out or whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
but don't be cutting the tea out.
So, I wanna just, acknowledge something Heather said real quick, and then we need to go on to
We
the
need to
next
set
niche
Chris
if we're gonna
in,
get it
and
all.
I don't know if is Lori here. Yeah, and then
Uh, so
we'll
Heather
have to
said, "I
figure
need
out
to hire someone to do that. My kids don't live around me right now." And yes, when Julie said that, I was like, "No, she doesn't need her kids to do that." So I just wanna say, your B-roll, please don't let that stop you. Like,
yeah, no,
getting pictures or images of you,
and
you
you'll have a
can
husband.
literally or you can literally get a $10 tripod off of Amazon, put your phone somewhere, run the video, do something for 4 or 5 minutes, move
Move
it
it.
to somewhere else, you know, maybe a little closer and then one's further away, like across the room, and take 5 different 5-minute videos. And boom, you have your B-roll for free.
Right.
And if you don't
And
have a tripod, you can go 2015 Jess style and you can just prop that sucker up somewhere.
yeah, on a display or whatever. They also make, and they're super inexpensive now, like maybe $30, the rotating cameras that follow you around the store. So if it's further away in your staging or whatever, so it's going to follow you, which is quite amazing. So, and they're like $30 that you can find. So, like, so many people get so into the details of I can't do this because.
Mhm.
So we're
All up in your
getting
head.
exactly. So whatever you got, use it. You have a phone and you can at least, set it up somewhere and you can do that. So
Perfect.
yeah. Okay.
Love it. So, Chris Ann, this one's a little harder for me. She's a
Digital.
Christmas planner. Year
Yes.
round. She plans for it year round, which is just so wild to me, and I love that niche. But your biggest struggle is going to be approaching people like me and Julie's actually a little worse than me, who we love Christmas, but it doesn't really get on our radar until November. And then
Mine
on
doesn't
hers,
get
it's like
there
till December. So
20th.
your content
20th.
your content's got to talk about, you've got to speak to the people who are very much your people. We'll call them your first tier people, who, yeah, they're all about, they love Christmas so much they're going to plan it 364 days out of the year. But to attract new people to your space, and probably a market that you haven't really reached yet, you've got to figure out how to talk to people like me who, yeah, it's a good idea, but I am so super duper swamped in Mayvember right now that I can't even think about
Right.
5-6 months down the road. So when that
And your
comes
hook
up,
is what's going to get us, right?
yes,
And you got to think about it backwards.
yeah.
So, what is the most crazy backwards way to reach us? And you don't want to just reach us, but so you want to mix in content to your other people. But it's like, think you can't. This is not a great one, but it's like, think you can't do this, think again. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you have no time. Like, we have no time. Like, really, we have no time. Like, I got in trouble yesterday from my husband because I didn't get something done for him. I'm like,
So let's just go through a few of the ideas that we were given for everyone else. Like, a behind the scenes is always great because that's going to help collect everyone, your tier 1 people and your tier 2 people. Um,
B-roll. Sorry, B-roll. This year, as
mhm.
you're decorating your house, get as much B-roll as possible. Setting up displays, setting up, like, I can only imagine what your house looks like.
I wanna come. I wanna
Like,
see it.
and I have friends that have a Christmas tree in every room, and, like,
So that was my grandmother. She had a Christmas, like 6 Christmas trees.
yeah. So get plenty of B-roll. You use that all year round. We have to have some type of system for getting that B-roll like clipped up or what, like knowing what you got, right? So there is a
Mhm.
little bit of skin in the game, but imagine how easy it is when you're talking about, I don't know, my son had a nutcracker. Like, I think my son's a collector. He has ADHD too. So, and ADHD people tend to collect things. So nutcracker collection. So just like that would be the coolest thing to reach him, like, when she put this out. I don't know. I don't know what the thing is. But anyway, B-roll. And then
She's been on the holiday home tour 3 times now, but simple decorating, but does more simple decorating now and the Christmas events and displays. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. But okay, so let's go through a few of the ideas. So one thing people always ask me about is, that was one of the prompts that I used for
Mhm.
earlier, if you remember, for Heather with the tea. But
Right.
this would be a great
Works
one.
for
One thing
everyone.
people always ask me about is blank dot dot dot.
And
And
you can use that
why
100
would I, to finish that sentence, it would be like, why would I want to plan for Christmas in May? And
Right.
then you answer that question because you are super qualified to
Right.
answer that question. And you would want to speak to the objection of, I'm not thinking about Christmas in May.
Right.
And tell
I
me
don't have
why I
time,
should be thinking
whatever.
about Christmas
Exactly.
in May.
And what is going to hook is the emotional of
Mhm.
that. If you plan now,
You
for
will
us,
enjoy
for
more of it.
me, I'm not gonna say for Jessica, but she unplugs a lot better than I do, but because I wait, and I am the type of person, I wanna go get it all done and then and do it, but because of the urgency or lack thereof and having to have a deadline, I don't do it quite early enough, and so then that pressure of that leads over and it affects my quality time with, which is
Mhm.
what I'm trying to have. So you have to do, like, what is the pain? My pain is because I delay, I am not having as great a quality family time as I could have. Okay, so it's a pain point. So having, like, what does preparing early do for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, stress is a huge, complaint among everyone in the holiday season. So, combating that would be a great way to do it. A common mistake I see people make when
Right.
they're planning for Christmas is they don't start early enough, or they don't do these 2 simple things in May. The
Exactly.
biggest mistake you're making about Christmas is not doing this one thing in July. I could see that being a huge
Right.
something that people just can't help but tap and watch. So
And Heather just said, I plan my holiday tea releases in July. So you can have a little series of Christmas in July. Look what's coming. Go ahead and beat the rush, whatever. I mean, you can sell if they're ready, like if you still have them ready, but show that you're doing these things right now and call it a Christmas in July series. Look what's coming. Get it now.
yeah. So the here's why I created this is also a great one. Explaining to people why you created the calendar. We talked about a few classes back. You had a planner that you were looking, like, why you created that, because you are really dedicated to helping people not struggle through the holiday season. So you created something that helps them throughout the year. And then the last topic was, if you're struggling with blank, start here. So I would change that if I were a Christmas coach to, if you've ever had a miserable Christmas because you were so stressed, then this is what you need this year.
Right. And Chris-Ann, so we think about your client as the people that are super like on top of it, like, and want to plan ahead and whatever. But however, you just said something right here. You also have a last minute program for November. So you need to embrace both audiences and just be like, the perception is that unless you're on top of it, yada, 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 yada. However, we have so many more people that are like this, and this is for you. And, you can just do if you're this is for you. If you're this is for you.
And that's dynamite, because when you're talking about that in a piece of content and you have someone like me or Julie who's watching, you're like, this woman's talking she's talking about Christmas in May. And then you hit me with, but I also have the planner that starts in November.
Go on and buy it now so that I can dig it out December 1st. And then I'll still be early.
Yeah. And I'm like, save that, because I need to sign up for the November one. I may not be your person for the January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September planning. But once those Halloween decorations go up, your girl wants a pumpkin spice latte, which we all know is just the precursor for a peppermint mocha.
So. Yeah. So Jessica is on it at Thanksgiving. She is in Christmas mode.
Just decorating. I don't buy I buy trips. I don't really buy presents very much. I'm really bad about that. But.
So Chris-Ann says it makes it hard having two sides. I sort of see, but if you bridge them and just say, there's two types of people when it comes to Christmas. You're either this or you're this.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way, so you can, you can address that fact and just marry the two and be like, that's why I'm here. So if you're this or you're this. So.
And oh my goodness, we did not address this, but I 100% recommend doing what we suggested for Heather, sitting down, having a few talking points and talking to the camera for 30 or 45 minutes, and just imagine different aspects, like who you're talking to, laugh, be yourself, whatever, and then go cut that down. Have some kind of AI tool cut you down into short snippets. You will get so much traction on YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is.
And to get those people that are like myself, you've got hooks that are like, people think I'm crazy. Why? I mean, like, think about your hook. You're going to stay and listen to that video. I'm going to watch it. Why do I think you're crazy? Tell me. Right.
Yeah.
So, and then
people think I'm crazy all the time. Hey, when I publicly announced Jessa Hart earlier this week, nobody said,
why are you doing that?
Crazy? Which I really appreciate that.
Yep. So, all right. So, wrapping it up, we know this type of content is can be hard, because we're all in our heads, right? So we're going to get out of our heads. We're going to climbing the mountain of cringe so that we can get over it. Okay. Going to get over it.
Yes, climb that mountain of cringe.
Yes. Climb the mountain of cringe because we're all on it. And the people that are winning and they're making money, and if you're selling yourself, doesn't matter. We have affiliate marketers. I don't know if John was here or whatever, but if you're selling, building yourself as a personal brand, Heather may decide, someone may come to her and buy her tea company for like millions of dollars, and she might decide to do another business. Well, if then she can bring that tribe over. So
That's amazing.
be yourself. Anyway, okay. Well, that's it for today because I have an appointment.
Yes, and if you have any topics for tomorrow, please let us know. And you guys have a great week. Thank you for joining us. As always, we enjoyed it.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.